With the new Unity Cup update, people are building better and higher rank Umas, which makes the team trial harder, and it keeps pushing the retention line higher and higher. If you are struggling, don't worry. I'll help you from achieving these low scores into higher scores like these. If you have watched my previous guide for the team trials, you will already know that the main strategy for the mode is to stack as many gold skills as possible, followed by any white skills you can get, because for each gold skills proc, you get 1200 points and 500 points for the white skills. The only difference is how to build them, the new decks that you can use, and which skills to actually get for your Umas. Let's talk about the skills first, and some of the most important cards. First, the new Stamina Sound Suzuka card from the half anniversary is very good. This card gives you a guaranteed gold concentration hint on the chain event. I repeat, it's actually guaranteed. And unlike a certain other card called Tazuna, I believe you have experienced it so many times with Tazuna, she just flat out give you focus instead, and it's so annoying. So, if you haven't finished the half anniversary event yet, please do finish it in time as you will be missing out on one of the best team trial card. If you also didn't know why concentration is the best skill in team trials, it is simply because team trials give you an extra 1000 point for the strong start. On top of that, concentration is a gold skill, so it gives you 1200 point when it activates. Even better, that concentration is a skill that will activate most of the time, as it is only based on your bit check. It is also on the cheaper side for the gold skills. I hope you at least get a single SSR copy of Rico from the 300 pool because she is just that good for the team trials as well. Not only does she help you making career easier in Unity Cup and obviously help you fix the stamina issues for more distance and above, she also have the Rushing Gale Gold skill, which is a good skill because it will activate in all maps and is basically just a weak check. Please note that if you only have the R version at MLB, it actually doesn't give you the gold version of the skill and it only gives you the straightaway acceleration. However, you can still use this card to help with your career, but you are definitely just missing out on a gold skill. For the frontrunners, we will also get the with Mihono Bourbon card from the upcoming Halloween event that you can run on any frontrunners for taking the lead gold skill, on top of just being a good free with card. Aside from that, all of the old SSR cards that were used are also still in use. These are Kawakami Princess SSR Speed card for the guaranteed center stage Shin, which is obviously the cheapest gold skill with only 240 costs. The free SSR with Dober is also good for late surger because it provides you with guaranteed the bigger picture that is also only 240 costs. Kido-san, as always, is a must fit everywhere by this point. It's a solid card overall, also have Professor of Curvature. Unity Cup Career will also give you 2 free gold skills if you win the Unity Cup. One is it's on the gold version of Ramp Up, and for the others, here is the list of the gold skill that is provided. From this table, the only gold skills that we will be mostly taking are 3 of these. That is Clairvoyance for medium distance track that comes from Fukukitaro with card. This skill is an easy to activate 240 cost gold skill. The next one is Cooldown from Rice Shower. This is only viable for long distance Uma because Rice Shower also provides you with Swinging Maestro. You basically don't need to have any other sources of gold recovery besides from this card. Lastly, we have No Stopping Me. This skill is actually not that good to take even though it's cheap, simply because the activation is not consistent. Especially for short and long distance, this skill has a very low activation rate. It is actually still okay to take for medium and long distance, but here's the thing. Would you rather have a gold skill that has low activation RNG rate, or basically almost a guaranteed white skill or gold skill that costs just a little bit higher? Personally, I take a guaranteed skill activation any time of the day. Acceleration skills has lost its value as we can see from these examples of the top team trials UMA. Previously, we incorporated acceleration skills like Redshift to most of our UMAs to help them win the race. This has changed since now we can stack so much more gold skills that even when losing the race, you will just still outperform Umas that win because you are proccing more skills than them. Another reason why acceleration skill is not that recommended is because it is simply too expensive. If you have only 1 star green on your inherit, the price goes up to about 188 skill points. whereas a cheap gold skill only costs you like 220 skill points. So you're losing out on points by buying these exploration skills. Alright, now for the deck formats. The general strategy for all the styles, except long distance, is the same all with maxing that we know. 2 speed, 1 Rico, 3 with card, all simple as that. There will be a new variation that we can sub in the wit card for Suzuka Stamina card on mall and medium distance for the concentration hit. So, for the sprint distance, the deck will look something like this. It will be Kitasan, Kawakami Princess. Obviously, you can replace Kawakami here with any SR speed card because most of the people will just not have it, right? And the rest will be Rico and 3 with card. The with card can be changed with any SR with card that you have. Focus on the one that has higher initial pawn or simply higher specialty priority. This will be Marvelous Sunday, Agnes Nafion, Daiwa Scarlet, SSR Dober here is also fine. If you have fine motion for Face Chaser, you can also fit in here. If you also have Nice Nature SSR, for the late surgers, you can also fit in here. I'm assuming people that watch this will have the bare minimum of Kita-san and Rico. I know I'm going to get hate comments on this, but let's be real. If you want to compete at the top, I think it's a realistic requirements. With Kita-san, Rico, and the card borrow, this will be probably just be fine motion, nice nature, or Kawakami Princess. You can obviously also borrow Bakushin or Pico if you like for the sprint distance. We are probably expecting at least 4 gold skills already with the guaranteed it's on from Unity Cup. I'm not going to count No Stopping Me because it is just simply not that reliable. You can add in gold skills from the Uma's own kit, and we will have like 5 gold skills. Obviously, if you don't have SSR Rico, you can just use the R version. You're going to miss 1 gold skill, but it's not the end of the world, and that's about it. Or you can just replace this card with another SSR card that you have for a gold hint that is viable for your Uma. For Mal and Medium, the only thing that changes is you drop your 1 with card for the Stamina Suzuka card. With that, we will be expecting guaranteed 5 gold skills from the deck itself. For the medium distance, you can also run Fukukitaru with card and pick that theme for the clairvoyance, giving 1 extra gold skills. You can also add skills from your Uma innate skills, but I think at this point it is too much and you simply will not have enough skill point for all of it. Lastly, for the long distance, you will want to borrow Rush Shower Power card unless you already have a Super Creek MLB card lying around somewhere on your deck. If you have MLB Super Creek, then you can just borrow another card for another gold hint because you already have the Swinging Maestro. Rush Shower will give you Swinging Maestro and cooldown if you pick her team and win the Unity Cup. This will be all the gold recovery skill that you need. The deck composition will change a little bit. It will be Kita-san, Suzuka Stamina card, Rush Shower, Rico. The other 2 card is just flex for hints. This both can be speed or with card. Those decks are for the general idea for each running aptitude. Let's talk a bit more about each running style, starting from the front runners. For the front runners, the only change is that right now you can drop one of your SR speed card and use the Twin Turbo speed card. Twin Turbo will give you taking the lead gold skill if you don't want to borrow Kawak or you just simply have Twin Turbo lying around. Because for frontrunners, there is not really any good with cards you can borrow for the gold hints. Just know that Twin Turbo Chain event is very abysmal. You have a chance to just end every chain event with Twin Turbo. And on top of that, the gold scale is not even guaranteed. I've already mentioned this, but the With Mihono Bourbon card will come soon, and this will change everything for the front runners. So if you want to be a little bit patient, you can start building other Team Charles Uma besides your front runner because it will be just easier when the With Mihono Bourbon card drops. For Page Chaser, the obvious borrow will always be Fine Motion for Speed Star, and Fine Motion just being a busted with card and MLB out there. For late surgers, you have a lot more option. Basically have the with Dober SSR card for free. You can also just borrow the Nice Nature for on your left. For the end closers, you can borrow the Speed SSR Sweep Tosho card. No, not for this straightaway spurt, but for the Crusader skill hints. This is also one of the cheap gold skills for the end closer. Let's talk about the stats requirement now. A lot of people will be confused on balancing out the skill points and the trainings. in Unity Cup. You might think that when you race, obviously you get worse stat in return in the Unity Cup. And that is totally true, as this mode punishes you for racing. However, the goal of team trials is to gather all of the skills and not the perfect stats like an Uma you would send to a war into the champions meeting. Take a look at the number 1 ranked team trials Uma, for example. He's not even capping on speed, and the stat spread looks somehow worse than most of the Umas you can make, right? But when you take a look at the more important part, the skill section, you can see that these Umas have at least 5, 6 to 7 gold skills in their kit. And so, for the stats recommendation, I would say that aim for enough stamina for every distance, and then you can kind of do whatever with the stat spread, to be honest. Obviously, have speed and width on the higher side, for obvious reason, because winning the race gives you more points, and more skill procs will give you higher points. As for the stamina requirements, for the sprint distance, it is kind of whatever. You will be hitting it regardless since you're running Rico, for the mall distance, try to aim to get at least 500 to 600 stamina as a general guideline to make sure your Uma at least run the race. For the medium distance, this will be around 800 stamina. You can also supplement this with code recovery skill like Swinging Maestro. Code recovery skills account for about 200 stamina. Lastly, for the long distance, you would want around 1000 stamina with 1 gold recovery at least. Also, one more important thing to mention is when making the stats, it is also good to go all in on 2 or 3 specific stats like speed and width. So you can naturally get higher ranked Umas, as higher rating Umas also affect how much score you gain. Here is a quick look on how Umamusume actually calculates your Uma rating. If you didn't know that if you spread your stat equally, let's say 600 on all of your stats, your Uma will only get a C plus rank, 6395 rating. But if we take 200 stamina and 200 guts and put those into speed and width, we can see a higher result. You can see here that our Uma ends up with a B rank 6593 rating. So in general, it is always better to go all in on certain specific stats rather than spreading it out all evenly. Now, let's talk about how many races you need to do for your career runs. Since the Unity Cup demands you to press more trainings than ever, you might have noticed that it is actually very hard to fit in those races when you run the career, unlike previously in the URA finale. I could go up to 18 to 20 races per career in the URA finale. But if I do that in the Unity Cup, I will just straight up break the run and lose every Unity races. So, what is the sweet spot for how many races to do in the Unity Cup? I would say it's around 14 to 15 races per career. Naturally, your Uma already does like 10 races, so you only need to squeeze in a little bit more races on those 10 turns. By doing this, you will average around 1.7k to 1.8k skill points per run. When picking the parent sparks to build the Uma, the recommended spark for your Uma will be Power Spark for the sprint and mall distance, whereas in medium and long, you can split it into stamina and power, or you can just go full stamina if you cannot hit the stamina requirement. As for the parent itself, there is not much really importance of which green inherit skill you get, but if you can, try to prioritize high affinity Uma that have URA Finale Spark, because it just boosts your speed and stamina and lets you get higher rating easily for your team trial Umas. For the team composition, in the sprint distance, free-to-play player would still be Bakushin, King Hello, and Airgroove. As for the premium version, this will be Karen Chan or Salon Suzuka. Karen is the best because it helps you overall with the team win as she is a debuffer. Suzuka is just a great frontrunner overall and have decent aptitude for sprint. For the mall distance, you will most likely fit in vodka, and the rest you can just kind of do whatever with what you have. The pool for mall and medium distance Uma is basically so much that you can kind of do whatever you want. If you have swimsuit Maruzensky or Narita Taishin, they will be the best here. For the medium distance, you'll fit in Agnes Tachyon because she is one of the best team trial Uma. Her unique and innate skills allows you to keep a bit on stamina requirement and focus on other stats or just simply do more races. The other two slots is also flexible because, as I've already mentioned before, medium just have a pool of Umas you can play with. But from what I've seen, the top people, they run Mihono Bourbon or Summer Special Week simply due to the fact that either they have unique recovery skill or they have gold innate recovery skill. Because we want to free the slot in the deck from running Rush Shower or Super Creek for the gold skill that they provide. For the long distance, you will always fit in Gold Chip. Simple and obvious, one of the best free-to-play long distance runner, Gold Chip have a good gold recovery skill. The other free-to-play option is Super Creek because she has innate swinging maestro and her unique is also a recovery ability. The other slot is also flexible really. I've seen people running CM Sky, Fantasy Grass Wonder, basically anything works since we have cooldown and swinging maestro as a source from Rise Shower power card. Lastly, for the dirt distance, if you are a free-to-play player, then tough luck. Your option is only Haru Urara and El Condor Pasa. I suggest you to pull on at least 400 Uma if you can. The ongoing banner for Agnes Digital is good. She is also a good Uma in general and fits both the turf and the dirt track. As for the premium version, Smart Falcon, Oguri, Taiki Shuttle, Agnes Digital, they all work here. Just make sure to get them to a dirt distance with some parent spark because some of these Umas have B aptitude on dirt. That's it. That's basically all you need to know for the team trials after Unity Cup update. I hope you can book better Umas and stay above the retention line for Class 6. As always, thanks for watching and I'll catch you in the next one.